In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis officials attend meeting with U.S. Vice President. Police release more information on Dorset Park fatal shooting and illegal gun recovered in Cayon. The details to these stories and more after the break.
We got stoves, cook it, fry it, bake it, stew it, poach it, eat it, drink it, slurp it. At Quartz, you can get it. We got fridges, slurp it, chill it, freeze it, store it, crisp it, pack it, and stack it. At Quartz, you can get it. Wash or dryer it, wash it, fluff it, spin it, dry it, clean it, fold it, wear it, assort it, and soak it. Rinse it, load it. SDA gon' make you blend it, crush it, toast it. At Quartz, you can get it.
In cricket, there are a few essentials. A bat, a pitch, a ball, some fielders, and plenty of refreshments. Enjoy the cricket with Angostura Chill. Angostura Chill, the official refreshment partner of the Hero CPL T20.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew and Minister of Energy the Honourable Conress Maynard were part of the Caribbean leaders delegation that met with Vice President of the United States of America Kamala Harris and Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis of the Bahamas as they co-hosted the U.S. Caribbean leaders meeting in Nassau on Thursday. In her opening remarks, Vice President Harris spoke to the significance of the meeting as a means of strengthening ties between the United States and the Caribbean region.
Strengthening the U.S.-Caribbean relationship is a priority for me, as it is for President Joe Biden. And these meetings have proven, I believe, at a leader level, have proven to be very important and essential to the strength of these relationships.
Thursday's announcements include more than $100 million in new assistance for the Caribbean region. The Vice President made announcements on the U.S.-Caribbean Partnership to address the Climate Crisis 2030, also known as PAC 2030, the need for an enhanced diplomatic presence in the Eastern Caribbean, the crisis in Haiti, and matters of security and firearms trafficking. Vice President Harris highlighted the existential threat of climate change and the efforts taken by the United States of America to assist the Caribbean through this potential crisis.
We have discussed, for example, powerful storms that can wipe out economic progress, low-lying islands that face erosion, flooding, and deadly storm surge from rising seas. These discussions resulted in the launch of our U.S.-Caribbean Partnership to address the climate crisis, or as we call it, PAC 2030, last year at the Summit of the Americas. PAC 2030 is designed to help accelerate the Caribbean's transition to clean energy and to promote energy security and climate resilience.
Following the June 2022 summit in Los Angeles, the United States helped to facilitate several clean energy projects throughout the region. One of those projects includes assisting with developing commercial geothermal power projects in St. Kitts and Nevis. The police have released more information regarding investigations into the shooting death of 31-year-old Vaughn Paris, also known as Baller. According to a statement, the incident occurred on June 6 between 3 and 4 p.m. Responding to reports of gunshots being heard in the area of Dorset Park, officers arrived on the scene and observed Mr. Paris laying on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds about the body. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The crime scene unit processed the scene and collected pieces of evidence. The police are offering condolences to all who have been negatively impacted by this incident. Investigations are ongoing. Meanwhile, the police have recovered another illegal handgun, this time in Keon. According to a police statement, the weapon was found on June 5 between 2 and 3 p.m. during a routine mobile patrol and search along a road in Spooners, Keon. The crime scene unit processed the scene and found a bag hidden by household debris that contained a .38 special revolver with a number of rounds in its cylinder. The weapon was taken into police custody for further processing. The police force is therefore making an urgent appeal to the general public for its assistance in this and all other matters involving the breaking of the law. The Ministry of Ecclesiastical and Faith-Based Affairs is calling on all churches to take part in a prayer caravan on Tuesday. According to a release, the prayer caravan takes place from 3 p.m. on Tuesday through the streets of McKnight, Market Street, and Newtown areas, where participants will be declaring the Word of God over our Federation. The statement said, quote, "We will be making strategic stops to pray throughout the communities of McKnight, Market Street, and Newtown," end quote. The ministry is inviting everyone to take part in the prayer caravan as, quote, "We cannot afford to be silent in this regard," end quote. In the meantime, the ministry is also urging churches to dedicate Saturday or Sunday as a day of prayer and fasting against the recent upsurge in gun violence and crime in the Federation. After the break, Department of Environment launches first environmental commitment campaign, and NIA providing free mammogram services at the Alexandra Hospital. Stay tuned.
I wonder if Auntie will be able to figure out this riddle. Let's see. Auntie, I have a riddle for you.
Let's hear it.
Where can you shop and get cash back in free groceries for a year?
Huh? Where can you shop and get cash back in free groceries for a year?
Come on, Auntie, you should know this.
I really can't think what the answer could be.
It's SL Housewords, duh.
How do you know this?
Because Mom shops there all the time.
Come here, you little nosy prince.
Riddle that cashback. It's that time of the year. Cashback season is here. Get cashback coupons for free groceries with every hire purchase at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store. Plus, a chance to win free groceries for a year.
Want to get away? Now you can.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your national bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Environment, Climate Action and Constituency Empowerment hosted its first Environment Commitment campaign on Tuesday, 6th June at Palm Court Gardens. The event brought together several ministers of government, ambassadors, the Governor General, members of the federal cabinet, and other partners, including the Taiwanese Technical Mission, to commit financially to projects that impact the environment. Director of Environment June Hughes said in order to promote its mandate of environmental conservation, the department held the event with the objective of embracing and fully engaging with stakeholders.
Without these critical partnerships, particularly those in civil society and the private sector, we would be working in vain. This gathering tonight, therefore, is a welcome occasion for you to chat with us and hear some more about some of our projects and to let us know where and how we can assist you in enhancing our delivery of sound environmental policy and meaningful interventions in respect of protecting and conserving our natural resources.
In her remarks, Minister of Environment and Climate Action, the Honorable Dr. Joyelle Clark, said the intention is to promote environmental stewardship.
You are here for various reasons, whether you have the money, you have the technical skill, you have the bilateral partnership to offer, you have the resources, or just your commitment of your time and your services. We want to partner with you here at the Ministry of Environment et al. Environmental stewardship is very specific. You have to care, and then you have to give. And that's it. Care about the world that we live in and planet Earth, and then commit. And that's what we're asking of you today. There are about 6 projects here, but that's not all that we do at the ministry. But 6 of these are particularly important because it affects us.
The minister reinforced her seriousness as an environmental steward as she told the gathering of her presentation to the federal cabinet of what the ministry is planning for its Sustainable Island State or SIS agenda. She hinted at the creation of a Sustainable Island State agency that will function as a space to connect various interministerial initiatives to ensure that the federation becomes an SIS premised on climate resilience. Free mammograms are now being offered in Nevis. A state-of-the-art mammography unit is now in operation at the Alexandra Hospital, and the cabinet of the Nevis Island Administration has taken a decision to waive the fee for the service for the next 6 months. The Ministry of Health recently commissioned a new Philips mammography system acquired at a cost of just over $220,000 US. Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley said recently that the cabinet determined that the service will be free for a period of time in order to encourage as many women as possible to get mammograms done and to know their status. Minister of Health and Gender Affairs, the Honorable Janelle Nisbet, said the mammography unit is an excellent addition to the expanding diagnostic capabilities offered at the Alexandra Hospital. She said with the service now more accessible to the people of Nevis, she is hopeful that more women would take the opportunity to get screened for breast cancer. As mammograms can only be administered by doctors' orders, persons are asked to visit their physician to schedule the service. 2 bills will receive their first reading at the next sitting of National Assembly at National Assembly Chambers in Government Headquarters on Monday at 10 a.m. Prime Minister and Minister responsible for Finance, National Security, Citizenship and Immigration, as well as Health and Social Security, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, will introduce and have read a first time the bills entitled the Firearms Amendment Bill 2023 and the Freedom of Conscience or Cannabis Bill 2023. The Firearms Amendment Bill is intended to increase the maximum penalty to 25 years with or without hard labor for a conviction in a court of law for breaches committed under the Firearms Act. The Freedom of Conscience or Cannabis Bill is a bill to facilitate the personal cultivation by adults of cannabis for private use in a secured area within a private residence and the personal possession and use of cannabis in certain public places within the designated smoking areas for the enjoyment of a person's freedom of conscience, including freedom of thought and religion, and for related matters. National Assembly will be carried live on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM and participating radio stations. It can also be viewed live on ZIZ TV, Channel 5 in St. Kitts and Channel 98 in Nevis. It will also be streamed live on www.zizonline.com as well as our various social media pages. Emergency medical technician within the Ministry of Health, Omoro Hodge, is advising the public to give way to the ambulance when their sirens and flashing lights are activated. Mr. Hodge was speaking during his appearance on the radio and television show In Focus on Wednesday, where he was interviewed about emergency care.
I would have made an appeal to the general public to give us a way so that we can, do what we need to do and get there in a timely fashion, because it's sometimes a struggle getting through traffic, but when you know that it's somebody who's having difficulty breathing, it makes it even more imperative for you to get through traffic, because at any point in time that person can stop breathing and then you're going to be the one that's blamed. They're not going to say traffic was bad. So, you can't use that as an excuse. But that is one of the things that causes a lot of delays.
Mr. Hodge also spoke about situations where the sirens cannot be used because of the condition of the patients.
When we do have those patients on board where we don't have the siren on, be respectful as well, because we still need to get to treatment at the final destination, which is JNF or any one of the other centers.
Emergency medical technician within the Ministry of Health, Omoro Hodge. Coming up in regional news, Cuba rejected accusations of Chinese electronic eavesdropping